for about 2 weeks. It was great because I had a bartender and she kind of took me under her wing. I called her my titty bar mentor. Actually, a really interesting girl, a complete freak. I loved her. She introduced me to a friend of hers once who had 13 piercings in his penis. I didn't believe it at first, though. He showed me, and he had a master lock through the end of his dick. It was like the coolest thing I'd ever seen. Anyway, I was there, running my ass off, getting drinks, and everyone was walking back, saying, do this, do that. And to me, it seemed like those girls sit around and talk, and they get even more money. I mean, they had to get them dance every now and then, but it looked so easy, and they made so much money, so Lynette talked me into it. She was a real dancer, though. She danced at Mardi Gras parades and danced at Disney for a while.
Not quite there yet, but I'm working on it.
I have no dance experience at all. None. You don't need it. It's like Lynette said. You go out there, dance, and not take your clothes off, you won't make any money. You go out there, take your clothes off, and not dance, you can still make money.
It wasn't as nerve-wracking for me as it had been to some of the other girls because I watched them for so long. Okay, I've seen them do this. Shake it that way, grab and pull this way. And I'd worn the shoes as someone who worked in the film entertainment industry. And I'd done theater back in high school, mostly props. But the point is, I was used to wearing the shoes, and I've always been okay with what I look like. That didn't bother me at all.
They see you, they think
they started out at a small club. There were a lot of regulars, and the staff was all friendly. So it wasn't as awkward starting out the big one.
They like an ATM. It attracts them.
I moved here to Orlando to live with a guy. He graduated college the year before me. I told him I was moving to New York, and he said, do you know anybody in New York? And I was like, no. Do you have any money? No. Do you have a job? No. So he said, why are you going up there? So I came out here, and I was miserable. So I'm living in New York when my landlord pulls the house out from under us, which technically she's not supposed to do, but hey, who the fuck's gonna argue with her, right? She is psychotic. So all my girlfriend who was living in Orlando at the time would say, I have to move in 3 days. So she grabs a U-Haul, brings it up to New York, we shove everything in, and I came down to Florida. I took about a month off. There was a lot of stress with having to move, and I missed it. I loved the atmosphere, and I missed the dancing. It wasn't about the money. It's never been about making money. I'm not exactly one of the big breadwinners here. Back then I was very shy. I had little life experience. I'd gone to college close to home, so this was all new to me. I had a hard time making friends. I was kind of stuck in his world. Very. Not that he put me down, but he didn't exactly give me encouragement either. And I was working at this one company, and one of the girls there kind of got to know me, and she saw things, and she said, you look like you're having a hard time. And I said, yes, I am. She said, you look like you could use some money. What does she want? Well, turns out this girl was a dancer. And she kind of took me under her wing like a big sister, and she said, you should come out one night. You don't have to do anything, just come on out just to see. The club where I work at in Long Island is a smaller club. We don't have 800 Barbie doll clones with attitude. I mean, this is Florida. I'm like the anti-normal stripper here. So I said, all right, and I lied to my boyfriend and said we were just going out. I was even more nervous this time than the first time I did it in college because I was in a more desperate place. I really needed money. So we showed up to the club and it's packed, and she tells her manager I'm just there to check it out. And he's like, whatever, if she wants to work tonight, here are the rules, so-and-so. And I was like, oh my God. Well, apparently it was a good night's work because I made $900 my first time. I was number one hottest thing there because everybody else was Florida tan and blonde, and I had this long red hair and was white as a cream cake. And I guess it was like Big Texas 50th birthday party or something. And he calls me over and he says, oh, darling, you are the best looking thing here, and you have got to come dance for me. I still have my bag on my shoulder, and I look over at my friend, and that's when she said it. Time to put your dancing shoes on. I have no clue what I did. I just winged it the whole night. We have real girls, all kinds. But I'm still here. We're a family. Oh, a dysfunctional family. I got really jerked. But a family.
Okay, so I'm in the Target with my in-laws. My in-laws who do not know that I do this for a living. They do not know that I dance. They think I'm a waitress. And it's funny how many dancers are actually waitresses to a lot of people they know, especially family. So, I'm in the Target with my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law, and this guy starts yelling, Sin! Sin! And I say to myself, holy shit. And I don't turn around and acknowledge the person. And this guy, and I don't know who he is, but I'm gonna fucking kill him, is like, Sin! Sin! And I'm just like, shit. And I don't look around, I don't turn around, I do not acknowledge him, because I don't know who Sin is. And I just start to walk a little bit faster to get away from him. And then, this idiot walks right up to me, and he's like, hey, Sin, how are you? Hey, Sin, how are you? And I just about die and look at him with all sorts of fucking hell in my eyes, and I say, I'm sorry, you must have the wrong person. Does he get the fucking clue? No, he's all like, hey, don't you work at the club where? No. I do not work at the club where. I don't know who this Sin person is. My name is Sheila, and I start to walk a little bit faster with my family. Anyway, a couple weeks later, Mr. Idiot comes walking into the club, and I go flying over to him. Why would you go up to a dancer and start talking to her, blow her fucking cover when she's standing there with her in-laws? I mean, anyone would have a fucking brain. She's all like, I don't know. Obviously, fucker.
My parents expected for a while. For about a month, I was living at home and dancing. One morning, my dad woke up to find my top in the driveway. Oh, but you see, Dad, the ties and strings are there for extra support. I worked at this bar where my boyfriend worked. So they would drop me off at the bar, and I would call a cab and go to the club. They tried to catch me. They couldn't. They'd call the bar, ask for me, and my boyfriend would say, oh, she's busy. And he'd call me at the club, and I called him right back. Finally, they just asked, point blank. I told them. They didn't like it. But at that point, we weren't talking very much anyway.
I haven't talked to my family in a while. We all just kind of fell apart and broke up. I mean, this was before I started dancing, so it had nothing to do with this. Some of them know what I do, and they're like, okay, cool, if that's what you like, do what makes you happy. And others don't really like me anyway, okay? They hate me. So, you know, I was always the one that tried to keep us together. Well, I guess rubbing their noses in what I do probably wouldn't help that, as entertaining as it might be.
I lived home at 14. I hated being there. I lived on the streets for a long time. I just kind of disappeared from my family. You know, we just didn't get along. My dad and I kind of separated from them for a while. And it wasn't until pretty recently that we started getting kind of close again. And they know now what I do for a living, and of course they don't like it. If they could find any way in the world to force me out, they would do it. But you know what? They can't. And I told them that. I can do this. I can take care of myself. So there's not much they can do to me, even if they try.
My family knew after the fact, the first time in. Well, my dad knew. My mom, I don't think ever knew. He was upset. He caught me with a few $1,000s cash in my drawer, and he wanted to know where it came from. And I told him, it's stripping. It's like, you know, I don't want to live on welfare or live with you the rest of my life. See, before, he wasn't willing to give me any money to help me go to school. But after he found this out, suddenly he was willing. He was dead by the second time I started dancing. My mom still doesn't know.
I think when they finally asked, I just said, yeah. I don't know what the hints were. They were in Alabama, for Christ's sake. And I've always told the truth. It just depends on the way you ask, depends the truth you're going to get. I remember they were pissed off. They wanted me to come back home. I remember I won this club dancing award, and I called my mom because I was proud. She was not proud. She hates it. They've always hated it. They told my grandma I was a waitress.
You see, it's hard explaining to your family that you're a stripper, but it's not hard explaining that you're a waitress.